Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an Indiana-based food pantry donated food, clothes, and more to the Hazard community in a decade-long partnership with a local church. And during the weekend, there was a Sasquatch tour in eastern Kentucky that brought in tourists from all over the state.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are coming up on 5 a.m. on July 17th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, it was a pretty nice morning. I know last week we had some chillier mornings, but today it was pretty good out there.
I don't know if I would consider any of last week chilly because it was pretty stuffy out there at times, especially during the afternoon. So again, yeah, a little cooler than some of those mornings last week. But again, this morning, the big story is the fog. So let's take a look at that this morning. Dense fog out there starting to spread out pretty quickly from south to north. And again, anywhere less than 5 miles on this map, and that's most of the region with the exception of basically Prestonsburg and Pikeville at this point, is below that threshold. So just continue to kind of keep an eye on that. Outside the WYMT studios, that camera comes back online. We are fogged in here in Hazard. Not too bad in other locations this morning, but you can kind of see it up there along Interstate 64, along Moorhead, in the lights there, and also at Jenkins in the lights, and just a little bit on Buffalo Mountain. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. There it is, basically fogged over here in Hazard. A little mild out there this morning, 50s, 60s, and even a 70 out there to start the day. 59 Clintwood and Wise, 70 rather in Moorhead this morning. So again, fog kind of holding in a little bit of that residual heat out the door forecast. I do believe most of us, though, will be in those kind of middle 60s this morning, 65 or so, and then we'll continue upward today. But we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the possibilities for some showers and storms, not only today, but later this week. More on that coming up in just a little bit. Olivia?
All right. Thank you, Brandon. Food, clothes, and many more donations were lined up in a Hazard parking lot. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox talked to organizers about how the giveaway came together and why the timing of it was so important.
Truckloads of donations were organized in Hazard, brought together by Indiana-based charity Dalton's Food Pantry.
We came with 30 or 40 volunteers and truckloads of quality merchandise. We don't do junk, and we have just been abundantly blessed because of Hazard. It's a full circle. We give and they give back.
They partnered with Consolidated Baptist Church, a relationship that has lasted more than a decade. For J.R. Dalton, that partnership brings up personal memories.
I worked with a gentleman that was from Hazard, and he was extremely rough, and I was just as bad as he was.
Dalton pledged to give back to the town once he could. So volunteers gathered with a line of people carrying boxes. They prayed, and then the giving began.
This opportunity allows us to shine the light of Christ. It really does. It allows us to give hope to families and people across the region.
Some lost belongings in the July 2022 flood or recent fires, making them even more grateful for the donations.
Well, this makes me happy that I see a couple things that I need.
The event is something Dalton says is all part of God's plan.
God told me years ago to feed my sheep, and I've been very patient and continued on with his promise of providing for us, and we just continued to do God's work.
A partnership serving the people of eastern Kentucky. In Hazard, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Some flood survivors there did not want to go on camera, but they said they thanked God for the kindness of the church and the food pantry. Hundreds of bikers came together in the Big Sandy Saturday to support a great cause. The Hillbilly Christmas in July Ride for the Kids hosted more than 300 motorcyclists for a ride through 4 counties, all culminating in a lunch and auction at the Mountain Arts Center. Hillbilly Christmas in July Chairman Jimmy Kinney says the event was a huge success and will bring in well over $60,000 for Shriners Hospitals for Children. But the event is also about telling folks about the help Shriners Hospitals provides.
The money that we take is great. The stuff we do is great. But hopefully someone will listen to us, just talk a little bit about what we do, And maybe it'll make them think about their child. Maybe there's a child out there that needs the help that the Shriners can give them. And that's what we're after, to find that one child that needs help, and hopefully he'll find it through the Shriners Hospital.
Kenny added that this is the 18th year of the ride, and as of last year, the ride has brought in nearly $800,000, and it is all about the kids. The Bounce Out the Stigma basketball camp helps special needs kids from ages 8 to 21 get the chance to learn and play basketball in Harlan. The program is based in New Jersey, and camp founder Mighty Mike Simmel traveled to Harlan to help lead campers. The camp had buddies who were middle and high school mentors that helped campers throughout the camp. Buddy Sebastian Mosley says he wanted to help kids feel great about themselves.
One of the reasons I really wanted to get involved with this program is because I have a family member who has a disability, and I've wanted to be able to help kids who have disabilities let them be able to achieve what they would want to achieve and help them get their life goals and be able to enjoy different sports. Doesn't matter what it is, I'm just really happy to be able to help.
Mosley says he is definitely going to be a buddy next year, and he encourages any and every middle and high school student to do so. Over the weekend, there was a Sasquatch research tour and search that brought in people from as far as Arizona. WYMT's RJ Johnson has more on why events like this are good for tourism for an area that does not see a lot.
Buffalo Camp and Ride is a family-owned campsite offering several trails for RVs, ATVs, and four-wheelers. With many activities going on, the Mountain Man Sasquatch Research Tour and Search brought dozens of people out to participate.
For some folks, they want to get educated a little bit more about Sasquatch, and we do that. So I showed up here on Friday, so we came in the first night. We had an incredible ride here.
James Thomason, also known as Mountain Man, says it was a great experience meeting new people and educating them on his findings.
And that's what's happened here at Buffalo Camp and Ride. I came up here a stranger, and I leave a child. I mean, I'm one of their kids now. I'm gonna be up here on a regular basis.
Co-owner of Buffalo Camp and Ride, Teresa Gay, says it's also good to bring in people from across the country, but they have bigger goals of being a part of the community.
And we just really want people to come in and have a good time. We've met a lot of good people from all over the place, but then maybe 30 minutes down the road, they've never heard of us.
Which is why she wants to continue putting on events to bring the community together so people like Thomason can continue to do what he loves.
It's amazing. And so we take those two things and we tie them together, and we put a smile on your face for 8 straight hours. That's the whole goal in what we do.
In Perry County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Gay says the campground is always open as they are continuing to expand the services they have to offer. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. With the heat rising during the summer, doctors are warning everyone to take precautions from heat-borne illnesses.
And the forecast for later today could feature a few strong storms. I'll track it out for you in about 3 minutes.